Okay, part two, which was gonna be part one, but now it's part two. I was basically like, before I work, like when things are going on in the state, or things are going on in the country and things like that, I try to stay informed. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was not always like this with being informed with things like that. I was like a lot of people where I'm just going, oh, that's what they said, oh, that's messed up, and then keep it moving, and I wasn't paying attention. But when you have to learn how to be, and my dad was really big on that. He was really big on us knowing history, us being informed, always staying informed. He made sure that we knew what we was, as much as I hated it back then when I was a kid. I hated it, couldn't stand it. When summer was over, most kids get to go outside and play and all that stuff, and we did. However, we still had school in that house because he wanted us to make sure we were still learning. And even in my 38 years of life, my dad is still, everything is still a lesson. And back then, I ain't like it. But the older I get, the more I turn into my daddy. And now everything is a lesson. And so I get it now. So daddy, if you're watching this, I get it. I understand. I've told you before, but you're right. I know you're gonna love that. But anyway, so yeah, everything is a lesson. So when it comes to me at my job, this is my business, okay? My livelihood depends on people being on my table. So you don't really want to ruffle a whole lot of feathers when your livelihood is based on clientele, right? So I don't bring up these things online a whole lot because I'm gonna rephrase that. Obviously I'm putting it on my YouTube channel, but I don't bring these things up on my personal page or my business pages because I don't like to ruffle them feathers. And since I do live in a deep red state, most of my clients are mostly conservative clients, which I have no problem with. At the end of the day, your money's still green, right? But I don't have a problem with your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, things like that. We may not have the same beliefs, but that's your belief, right? What I do have a problem with is when you're misinformed and you're spreading the misinformation. That is where I have the problem with, because my daddy, both my parents, my mom and daddy, I come from a 2-parent household. My parents loved us. They did everything that we needed. We may not get everything we want, but we used to always get everything we needed. We didn't go without, you know what I'm saying? So my parents instilled in us the value of hardworking, being informed, protecting your reputation, so I am very, very big on that, right? So, but when it comes to you bringing misinformation because you saw a clip on Facebook, or you just saw a quick 3-minute or a quick 1-minute click on the news or something like that, and you didn't watch the full context, it's a little hard to kind of explain these things to people. So I came up with this analogy this morning before I started my day, and before the birds happened. If you see the bird analogy, go back to my part one. But before I get my day started, because I got to be prepared for these types of conversations for the few clients that do bring it up, because I have got to the point. It's got to the point where, because some of my clients want to talk about it, know that I am informed with things, I kind of go back with them like, hey, are you sure that's what they said? Because I watched it and this is what my interpretation was. But I don't ever argue. We don't argue like that. We have a respect for each other to see both sides, and if we don't agree, we just don't agree, and that's okay. But each side got to hear without cutting each other off or yelling at each other or anything like that. So that's what I do appreciate about my clientele. Now, that's my clientele. I can't guarantee that if they were people from the outside looking in, saw that exchange or heard my side but didn't listen to their side, can't guarantee that everybody else is gonna feel that way. So I digress. So I was thinking about it in massage therapy terms. As a massage therapist, okay, I'm a massage therapist. I have a certain technique that I do. Only one in my area that does this technique. So in my area, and I'm the only one that has this technique, and I am the best at this technique, and I can do this technique better than anybody else. There are other therapists who may have, if they know a little bit about it and can do a little bit, but they're not an expert in this technique. So though I have this, there's about 3 other therapists, because because I have this technique that I'm so good at. There are a lot of people that can relate to the technique and need the technique that I have, and so they come to me. Okay, so they're coming to me. So I'm getting more people coming to me because I represent the technique that they need for their body to feel better. But there are 3 other therapists that was like, that's not fair. Why does she get to get these clients because she knows this technique? I know a little bit about it. Why can't I just get them too? You know, why is it that she's the one that gets to get the people and get, because they know what she does. They can relate to the technique that she does, and they know that they need that work. Why can't I get them too? I'm a massage therapist too. I should be able to get it too, right? That's how I'm looking at it, right? So then, because those 3 therapists wants to have the clientele that I have, they go to the board and they're just like, hey, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that she gets to have all of these clients, even though she's the only one that knows this technique in this area. I don't think it's fair. I think you should, give us her clients. We should have her clients because it's not fair for her. So let's take her clients. Let's figure out a way to push her out to where she can't have them clients no more. And if she got other techniques she know, and and she ain't strong with them or whatever, that's fine. She just gonna have to get the other clients that don't know enough. So now they've spread, and the board's like, yeah, that's cool. We're gonna do that. No problem. So now with my one technique, I am now at a disadvantage because there are not enough people in my area because they've been spread out to other areas, and they can't get to my area no more. And so they have to go to the other people now, but that ain't gonna stop them. That's not gonna stop them from continuing to try to get to my area. So they're gonna go through every avenue they can to get to my area. Even though my area may have been pushed out a little further, they're gonna make their way to my area because they know that I am the one that they need. Even though now I don't have enough representation in my area to do it, they're basically diminishing in my technique because they know that my technique is intimidating to them because I have a more clinical technique. They may have more of a spotlight technique. But they're taking it away from me so because they feel like I don't deserve to have what I worked hard for in that technique. I don't deserve that. So that's how I look at how these redistricting maps are going. You have a district, mostly Democratic, mostly Black Democratic district. They have representatives that represent who they are. The constituents can see themselves in their representative, so they send their representative to fight for them, aka the technique. I represent that technique that you need. Therefore, you're gonna fight to get to me. You're gonna come to me because I got what you need. But because the 3 other therapists, aka the Republicans, feel like they can represent me, that demographic just as well, they're like, nah, you don't need that representative. You need us. So they're trying to convince the people that they need them instead of the ones that actually can relate to them. So the massage therapists are trying to convince my clients that they're the better option. So they're gonna, between the three of us, the 3 therapists, we're better than that one therapist that got the technique that you need. That is how I look at this redistricting thing. And I could be 100% wrong. If I'm wrong and you see this video, correct me. But that is how I look at it. Put it in massage therapist terms. Because now I feel like right now what's happening is that we have to, if you're going to speak out on these things, if you're going to, especially me in this situation, if I'm going to put my career on the line and my reputation on the line for these things, it got to be for something that I believe in. And I just believe that you have to explain things in terms that people will understand. And because I'm a massage therapist, these are the best terms that I can explain. So if I'm talking to other massage therapists about these things, that is how I'm going to explain it to them. If you watched part 1 of my analogy, then you'll know the bird analogy. So that's it.